Hello and thanks for tuning in and checking out this video. This is the Condor MOLLE compatible holster. This is the horizontal version of this. I think the standard version is meant to be in the vertical or perhaps angled orientation, and this is clearly meant for a horizontal, like on a chest rig or something like that, or plate carrier or something like that. So I just want to do a very quick initial review. I just received this a couple days ago. Today is actually the first day I got it out of the packaging, and I put this firearm in it. This is my intended carry in this particular holster. And right now I'm just going to let it sit in there for a few days, just so the holster can kind of form, around it, kind of start bending and loosening to the shape of this firearm. This firearm is a Glock 40, so that is the 10mm long slide. I did safety check the firearm before the video, so even though the magazine is in and I'm not going to demonstrate that it's clear, I will tell you that I did prior to the video. So this Glock 40, even though it is unloaded, and the magazine is of course unloaded as well, it's still a beast of a gun. And what I can say is that there's no doubt that this holster is sturdy enough to support the weight of this firearm. This holster is stiff, and it's actually fairly heavy for what it is. It seems to be a pretty rugged and well-made holster, especially for its price point of around $20, depending on what site you get it from. So a couple quick features. On the back side, it is just your standard MOLLE compatible straps there. Some people talk about how these are sized a little bit off and don't quite line up with their MOLLE webbing. Who knows? I'll see if that's the case with this one or not. There's a lot of products that are reviewed to be that way, from even including some high quality brands. So yeah, I think that's just compatibility, or perfect compatibility, is a little bit hit or miss on that in general. So I'm not terribly worried about this. I don't think it's going to be so far off that it's just unusable. Might be a little bit off and might not line up perfectly, but I'm sure it'll still be usable. On the front, there's two straps, or flaps, sorry, Velcro, that really allow you to cinch down the shape of the holster around whatever firearm you have. And it actually has a pretty solid feel to it. I wouldn't say there's much retention from that, even if it's really strapped down, but the gun also doesn't, it isn't loose inside, I guess. On the end, there's this strap right here. The Velcro goes inside and you can adjust that, and that's to cover the muzzle, to again just provide support so that the firearm doesn't slide back and forth in the holster. This is a long slide 10mm, so the muzzle is right there. I do want it set up like this. I think I am going to, this is the MOS version of course, I am going to get an optic for this firearm, and I plan on just cutting this material here, and to allow fit for the optic. I'm doing that because this is a $20 holster. My intended use for this is to provide overt, easy to access chest carry. I like something like this. I think this style of holster is a little bit more low profile than many of the other kind of standard, if you will, chest holsters. I'm going to use this firearm in particular for deer hunting, and then for woods and trail carry for animal protection. So I'm not hiking around in Alaska where I think chest holsters are much more common. So I wanted something a little bit more low profile. That's again why I went black as well. So I'm going to put this on a chest kit bag, and on the outside of it. So I would have the option then, if I need to be more covert, of taking the firearm out of the holster and putting it inside the kit bag and just leaving the holster on the outside. I think, a casual person who's not really paying attention and doesn't know about firearms probably wouldn't notice that this is a holster. They just probably think it's part of a strange looking chest bag that this strange guy has on the trail. Anyway, I think the biggest feature about this, the most important feature for us, is going to be the thumb brake and the retention system. The retention system is, well, there isn't one. The pistol is retained by the thumb brake here. If you want it to be more secure, they have this flap that you can Velcro over the thumb brake, which would make it certainly more secure, but also certainly more fiddling around on the draw stroke. Should you have to draw this in defense of your life, that could pose a pretty significant problem. So there's one snap button right here. The snap seems to be perfectly fine, but I will say, like some other online reviews mention, it isn't probably the most strong or sturdy snap out there. It does seem a little flimsy or a little easy to unsnap. So I think there's definitely a possibility this could get snagged on something if you are wearing it in brush or something like that, and it could defeat its retention. The holster does have this strap thing here that I guess is supposed to help the gun from flopping around, but I don't know. It doesn't seem to serve any purpose. I've tried to adjust it and tighten it down, but it just is kind of there, and I can't really imagine this doing anything. Should the thumb brake somehow fail and open up and you're not aware of that, I don't think this is going to do anything. So I'm going to leave it like this, and just try the pistol mounted in the way I want it on my chest bag and see how it works. But I frankly anticipate I'm going to be removing this piece. Now I will say, I'll slip this off. Now I will say that the holster, I'm going to try to do this without, the gun does not fall out. I'm shaking it pretty well. So the thumb brake does seem to be certainly sturdy enough to hold against that. It's just, again, it doesn't take a whole lot of pressure to pop that off. I did mount this on my plate carrier just really quickly, just to get a sense of how it would sit. And I will say that the draw stroke isn't really that bad. No, of course it's not nearly as fast as a normal appendix or strong side carry holster, but that's not my intended use for this. There's other chest holsters that probably would be faster. Again, I wanted a more low profile and kind of modular system that I can attach to my chest bag that I like to wear when I'm out hiking. So anyway, this is just a quick overview of the holster. There's not a whole lot of information on it out there that I saw. I absolutely will post additional videos to give a more accurate assessment of it after it's actually been in use a few times. But yeah, overall I would say, especially for the price point of $20, the holster exceeds my expectations, and based on my initial impressions, I would suggest purchasing this if you are looking for a MOLLE compatible external but yet maybe a little bit more covert holster. So as always, I appreciate watching. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions, specifically, I'll do the best I can to respond to people on that. And of course, if you didn't give a thumbs up to the video in the beginning, please do so. It helps us out, helps us kind of small content creators out. And please consider subscribing to the channel as well, which just helps the channel grow. All right, thanks for watching.